Hello. I'd like to talk about addiction in my family. And, I'm going to make this, kind of don't know where to start. I want to make you know, how do I fit in all of the complexities of growing up in a addict and alcoholic family into a short 10-minute video. And I'll just have to do it. So yeah, my mom was addicted to methamphetamine when I was young. Young as in, I think she got clean from meth. I actually don't know because she doesn't really talk about it. She doesn't really like to talk about it. My dad he is an alcoholic. He still drinks. He's gotten a DUI before. I remember, wanting to interact with him, and when I was a kid, and he just wasn't really present. He would just work, come home, drink. A lot of the times, um, you know, there were bright spots, for both of my parents. It wasn't all bad, but if you're a parent and you're taking methamphetamine, my mom still thinks like, oh yeah, that's done with. Like it didn't really affect. Like she actually said like, I didn't do it around you. Like she's rationalizing, you know. But if you're doing meth and you have a child, it doesn't matter if you do it around them or not. Or if they don't see it or whatever. Your behavior is going to affect your child, and the same with, alcohol. And I've just seen it. This is just a hard topic because it's something that I don't really talk about or think, I think about it sometimes, but yeah. And anyway, my older sister has done really hard drugs, and she just recently, because of she just recently got in trouble and had to get clean. I don't want to get too much into her business, but publicly here. But it just goes to show, just how deep this disease runs in my family. And it's not something the family talks about. It's not something that I just called my grandma, and she smokes a lot of weed, of marijuana, and she's not sober, and I think she self-medicates, which is her choice, but she, I don't know. There's like the concept of like this, people talk about in certain dysfunctional families, like the scapegoat, and I really feel like that a lot of times, yeah, I have things I need to take responsibility for, but it seems like the anger and the like is directed towards like one person. You can't like look at the family system and be like, oh yeah, this family is kind of like messed up. It's kind of like sick, um, and it's just not something that's done in my family. Like being honest about the family system, it's just not done. And it's a shame. It's like I wish that there was like more openness in my family. And But like, there's just not. It's like, there's this thing in my family of like, don't tell grandma, don't tell grandma, don't tell grandma, because she uses her anger to like control people, you know? And I just want to be like, okay, you know, just because I do something wrong or bad, or anybody, whoever, it doesn't give somebody else the right to do something bad to them, you know? Like, okay, I did something bad, but I'm not going to allow somebody else to use anger to control me. Like, I just grew up in a environment where I wasn't allowed to be angry. I wasn't allowed to stand up for myself, and I couldn't because I was a child, you know. And now that I'm 29 years old, I have to stand up for myself. You know, nobody is gonna give me sobriety. Like I'm showing up to this program, this outpatient program, and I'm doing it out of my own free will. I'm not doing it, like, I don't have to be there. I can drop out at any time, and there's not going to be any consequences except for, like, I mean, there will be consequences in the sense of my life would go down the shitter and there would be consequences, but I'm talking about, like, nobody is forcing me to go there. That's what I mean. And that's like a really big thing. It's like, this is in the program, they talked about, you know, internal and external motivation. And like, I have internal motivation. It's not just like, oh, I'm being forced because, you know, some people are in the program because like the courts are forcing them to go. You know, I've never been in trouble with the law. You know, some people are going for those sort of reasons, and it's like, that's not for me. But I'm kind of getting whatever, you know. I'm doing this to better the most important relationship in my life is with myself, because I can't have relationships with others unless I have a good relationship with myself. That means loving myself, taking care of myself, you know, loving myself in ways that my family couldn't love me. They just weren't able to. I know that they love me. I know that my family loves me. Other people, they have different families. I know that my family loves me in a way, as much as they, to the level of their consciousness, you know, like, I think they really sincerely care about me, but they don't have the, yeah, anyway. And it's just really hard. It's hard navigating, you know, you know, I have addict, alcoholic family, you know, and it's just a reality, you know, whether they, yeah, so I'm just working through a lot right now, you know. I just want a life, you know. I want a life. And I just feel so empty sometimes, you know. That's what I use the marijuana for, or the alcohol for, or even the tobacco, you know, just to fill that emptiness where I have to learn how to live. I'll end on this note, you know, I have to learn how to live sober. I've spent so long self-medicating, and just checking if the window's open. And I just have to learn how to live sober, you know. And that's what I'm doing. Every day I don't take a drink. Every day I don't, you know, smoke a cigarette or smoke weed. And every day I show up to this program, I'm learning how to live sober. You know, And I appreciate all your guys' support, and I hope life's not too shitty for you. So thank you, everybody, for your support, and I'll keep you updated. All right, bye.